I feel really loud.
Yeah, me too. I don't know why.
I'm going to try not to say any S's.
We'll talk about snakes. Megan, say this rhyme. Sally sells seashells by the seashore.
Sally sells It hurts.
It hurts.
When I say S's, it hurts.
Oh, okay. I'll stop making S's. Okay, you start off because I started off the past few weeks, I think, actually.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to The Peaceful Truth, the podcast where we talk about everything from women empowerment, feminism, women's issues, and everything in between. You're joined by your co-hosts, Megan Hoharts and
Kenzie Meekbeck.
Hello, guys.
Hello. How is everyone?
Let's address the topic. Megan got Invisalign, and now I can't say S's.
Before this, and I might keep it in, I was asking Megan to say like rhymes to the best of her ability.
I said, we're not going to say any words that start with S. And Kenzie was like, we're going to talk about snakes all podcast long.
Sally sells, I can't even say it and I don't have anything wrong. Sally sells seashells by the seashore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
you're like, F you, I'm not saying it.
So I just started Invisalign. They're not in right now because my lisp is even worse with them in. But now it's just painful to say S's because my teeth click together and then it hurts. So I just like have this permanent lisp now.
I'm sorry. That sounds painful though. So
I apologize to all the viewers that are annoyed by my newly developed lisp. It'll be about a week. My friend Charlotte did Invisalign before I did, and she said it'll be about a week and the lisp will go away. But I don't know. I think
hasn't it been a week and a half?
It's been a week. It's gotten progressively better. So like
was it really bad? Why didn't you call me?
The first day was really bad. I mean, to the point where I was like, Des, I'm not even going to talk. Like, I feel like I'm just annoying the crap out of you just trying to say anything. So it's gotten progressively better, but it's changing the way my teeth fit together, all just completely different. It's changing my bite. It's changing the way my teeth overlap. So I'm a little concerned that the lisp is going to be around for a while.
No, it's fine. Just rock it. Who cares?
But when they're in, at the end.
You just host a podcast where you have to talk the whole time. How was your week, Meg? You had a cool weekend. Tell our listeners about that. All our yogis out there.
Man, I had a super busy weekend. So Saturday morning, we woke up and Des and I drove to Carnation, Washington. Because it's 45 minutes away. It's this super cute little town where you can cut down your own tree.
Oh, yeah. So cool.
Yeah, it was so fun. So Des got it approved by his boss to bring in a 7-foot live tree into their office building and to decorate it and to put it in their space. And the boss said, yes, I give you permission to do that. So we went to Carnation. We cut down I think we got like a 6.5 foot. It's tall. And now it's in Dez's office.
Is Des super into Christmas?
Yes.
Aw, I didn't know that. Merry Christmas, Desmond.
So that was really fun. And Cooper loved it because it was this ginormous tree farm. And they had all different sections. One section, Douglas fir. One section, I don't know, pine. All the different types of trees. And so then we caught a tree and it was super fun. And then my friend Finding Freedom Yoga, you know her as Finding Freedom Yoga.
No, I know her as Maggie. I'm a pronoun.
So we did a yoga workshop yesterday at the studio that we got our training from. So it was kind of like full circle, like everything coming together. Like this is where I grew as a yogi and now I am teaching here. It was a really great experience and we had a really good turnout. So Maggie taught the class while I played and chanted on the harmonium. And we got really good feedback from the students saying that they loved like the live music part of it versus, listening on a Spotify or something. And so we got really good feedback, and we had a good turnout.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I really and truly am. You were so cool, Megs.
Thanks. And then today, we had brunch first I went to yoga church this morning, and then we had brunch with Desmond's boss and wife and family, which was really nice. And then I recently signed up to clean a yoga studio at 8 Limbs Yoga Studio. I think you probably heard me talk about it. It's a really good studio in the Seattle area. And so I clean 2 to 4 hours over the weekend, and then I get unlimited yoga.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I just took a ginormous pay cut, and so I'm trying everything possible to, what can I do to get some extra money, or what can I do to cut down my expenses? And if you think about it, yoga classes in Seattle, $15 to $20 easily.
Oh, yeah. And per month and unlimited, a lot.
So
maybe $100 a month.
Yeah, at least. So then I was like, okay, this is something that I can do to cut down my expenses. And so then I cleaned the yoga studio, and she trained me today on all the steps I need to do to clean the yoga studio. And it just feels good to give back a little bit too,
Yeah.
Even though so cool.
It's humbling.
I get something in return, but it's hard work.
Yeah.
And now I'm here.
Look at you. You are just a queen of the weekend. That is awesome.
Tell me about yours.
Let's see. What have I done? I am the literal worst.
You can't remember. Why?
I don't know.
I'm concerned.
So on Friday night, I went out to a nice restaurant in Bellevue. I think it was a really fancy Chinese fusion type cuisine.
Nice.
In the Bellevue Mall. I forget what it's called. I think it starts with a B. And we went with Jacob Brony and his girlfriend Jackie and one of her friends, and Chelsea and I all went. And then we came back home, and then Saturday morning I wanted to go skiing, but everyone in the family wasn't super down, so it's all good. So then I went and I'm officially Washington everything. I've switched over my license plates and my ID, so now I'm officially a resident of Washington State.
Perfect. Congratulations.
God, thanks. That's literally been on my to-do list for 6 months.
How long have you lived here?
6 months.
Really?
Yeah. So it's May.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
When did we start this podcast?
July?
Yeah.
July,
August, September, October. 5 months.
5. Okay. No, we've been doing the podcast for 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, and then Saturday afternoon, and then we got happy hour with another Megan, one of Chelsea's other friends named Megan, and Aaron and Chelsea, and they went on to a party, and I went to Flat Stick in Kirkland, which is a fun little place where you can play mini golf, and they had beer pong from college,
nice.
Which I was super rusty on, and yeah,
I was never good at that.
I love bar games.
Yeah.
Do you like bar games?
Yeah, for sure. I never was good at flip cup. I was never good
I
at
love flip cup.
Beer pong. Just not my strong suit. Hand-eye coordination. It's not my thing.
It's hard. It's tough. And then this morning we woke up and Megan was still over and we watched the Kardashians. And
where did she sleep?
In the guest bedroom.
Okay. I would have slept in your bed because I get scared. Remember that?
She was a brave girl, Megan. She was brave.
The other Megan is braver than this Megan.
She was a brave girl. She went all on her own.
So, because whenever we went out for your birthday, I slept with you because I was too scared.
And I got to see the Megan that gets all dolled up at nighttime.
Oh, yeah.
But now you're even it's every time we have a podcast, you become a little worse, even more of a night monster.
Yeah, because now you have to see me
Can you
brush my Invisalign.
relist everything you have to put in at nighttime?
I got to put in my eye drops, my prescription eye drops. Well, first I got to take off my eye makeup, wash my face, put on my moisturizer.
So she's really like, now you're really oiled up and greased.
Now I'm really oiled up and greased. Then I got to put in my eye drops. Now,
what happens when you put on your eye drops?
It burns like shit. Those burn.
What about the ones that close your eyeballs?
Then I have to put in, I put in the gel right before I go to bed.
Okay.
So I can still
That's
see.
not coming yet. Okay.
The eye drops are just normal eye drops that burn. Then I have to take my toothbrush, my brand new toothbrush that cannot have any toothpaste on it, and brush my Invisalign out. Then I gotta floss my teeth because I'm usually not a good flosser, but now I gotta be a really good flosser.
Yeah, you're paying for these bracelets.
I'm paying for these guys, so my teeth better be on point. So then I put in my Invisalign, get my lisp. Then I put in my gel. So I put it on like, it's kind of like, you can think of it like Vaseline type. And so then I put a little bit of the gel on my finger and then put the gel right on my eyeball. And then I got to keep it closed.
She's showing me how it looks right now. Yeah.
And so then whenever I'm talking to Des at night, got to keep that eye closed.
You're so sexy.
Thanks. I got a lisp. I can only see out of one eye and my face is greased up.
Next thing you know, you're going to have like mittens to like cover your hands. Yes. And you're going to have like this weird stuff, a back brace.
Yeah. So yeah, the nighttime is not my strongest suit.
Hashtag blessed. I'm just making fun of you. It's just epic. And what else was I done? Oh, and then this morning, yeah, and then we went to lunch at the corner bakery, and I had bacon, mac and cheese, very healthy.
Oh, I didn't know y'all had those here.
Well, you have them too. You're a Washington State resident too. I didn't know y'all had these here. Yeah, I opened them all.
So, is it the chain that's in Texas too?
Yeah, corner bakery. Yeah. No, it was really good.
It's a pretty good place.
Yeah, and then I took a nappy nap. Now I'm here.
Perfect. And now your lipstick matches your shirt very nicely.
Well, thank you so much. I put in some effort a little bit. My hair's still up.
Guess what's next weekend, Kenz?
PodCon. So if you live in Washington State area and you want to say hello, tweet at us or Instagram us. We're going to be at PodCon this weekend.
Yep. We're really excited. Oh, something else we're doing today. After we record, we're going to be answering blog questions.
And we'll reveal what blog it is maybe the following week. Just because we like need to answer them and for it to be official. But yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to be on somebody's blog if you want to check that out.
So exciting.
And what else? PodCon. Oh, we got business cards.
Dang. Yeah. This podcast is getting so official.
We are professionals.
So next weekend, PodCon. But Meg, so what's this week's topic?
Well, we thought because we just spent a lot of time with our families for Thanksgiving, and we're about to spend even more time with our families for Christmas. And thankfully, I have really cool parents, as do you. But, maybe there's those relatives out there that you only see, the extended family, that you only see one time a year. And as women, we get asked a lot of questions.
Lots of questions.
A lot of awkward,
personal
questions. And so this is the Holiday Extravaganza podcast where we address those questions that women get typically asked around the holidays. And maybe we have some funny answers to give.
Yeah. All right. So I wrote out a list and I was just going to tackle the list. And then Meg's had a few articles that we were going to go through.
Yep.
So, okay. So I'll go through the list that I brainstormed. I actually asked Meghan and Chelsea too about it. So the first one is very typical. When are you going to have kids?
Especially if you've been married for a while.
Yep. So when are you going to have kids? I even get this question.
As a single lady?
Yeah, and I'm like, not anytime soon. I have no idea Literally no idea. I also I just hate that. It's just so invasive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't know what the couple could be going through.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. They could be having troubles.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not cool, everybody.
Or maybe like me and Des, you don't want to have kids.
Oh, yeah. So not only is it invasive, even if you plan on having kids, but it's assuming that you want kids just because you're a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a sexist question. 2, are you dating anybody? That's a question I get asked. Who are you dating?
How do you answer that?
I don't know. I just kind of, I'll answer honestly if I'm have an interest of some sort, but with someone. But if I don't, I'm just well, just chilling. No one. So the other Megan told me this one. How are you still single?
Is that them hitting kind of hitting on her?
No, I think it's just
God,
it's a backhanded compliment, is it not?
Kind of, yeah.
How are you still single? That's a bad thing, and also, but you're cool. So I don't really get it.
It's a terrible question.
It is a terrible question. So another one is, would you like another glass of wine? Which, yes.
Yes.
Always, because you just asked the following questions. Another one is, this always I have had a few serious boyfriends, and they're always oh my God, is he the one? You know, are you gonna marry him? Is he
and is he standing right there listening?
No, well, sometimes it's just
he's in the other corner talking to another set of family members.
Yeah, or it's when are you guys gonna get married? And it's just
I get that one a lot now, because Des and I have been together for 4 years. We lived together for 3 years.
Yeah.
And so, I was married before, and I'm divorced. And so now the question is, do you plan on ever marrying Des? They just think that I'm just gonna be with him for forever. And not you could. You could pull what's that one famous Hollywood couple, Kurt Russell and I don't know.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of couples that do that, but no, we for sure could. But I feel they're asking me did you write off marriage completely now, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Ugh.
So
do they ask you any other insulting questions, you feel like?
That's probably the most insulting. And I guess that's not super insulting. I guess they're genuinely curious. Are you going to just stay together dating for forever? Or are you going to,
unless I'm really good friends with someone, I never ask questions like this.
You know what? I am going to stop. I feel like I'm guilty of when are you going to have kids?
Are you?
I feel like I am.
Okay.
So I need to stop that.
Yeah. Because you never know what someone's going through.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So this one is, how do you feel about so-and-so and they're doing so good with their lives? So this is someone you
both
just broke up with.
Oh.
And they think that person's doing good based on what they've seen on social media. And they're so how do you feel that so-and-so is doing so good?
And you're just shh.
And it's kind of wait, I'm doing fine too.
Yeah.
And also, it's just okay.
Have you ever gotten asked that question?
No.
Thank God. That'd be oh my gosh.
I've gotten questions have you seen he's dating someone?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm yeah, I've seen it. Thanks.
You know what? One of my girlfriends, she had a serious relationship and they broke up, and now he's dating somebody that looks exactly like her. They're look so much alike. And so she'll get the question oh, have you seen that he's dating somebody? And she'll just be yeah, I have seen that. And then the next was did you happen to notice that y'all look exactly alike?
Oh.
She's just what am I supposed to say to this?
Fella has a type. The next one is okay, so this happened to me. I was like, ran into someone from my hometown while I was visiting my hometown, like last holiday season. And they knew one of my exes really well and me. And it's just amazing that people have the balls to do stuff like this. They asked me about how the breakup went. And then they say, I really liked him. And I'm like,
I thought y'all were so cute together.
you guys were really good. I thought he was the one.
And you're like, well, crap. Seriously, Aunt Barbara? Don't pull this.
Barb, go back into the underworld. That's a Stranger Things reference. Okay, so like all of us, we were actually talking about it on, like I was talking about it with Meg and Chels, and they were saying that although we've been employed mostly like after graduation for the most part, I can't imagine what it would feel like to be a young 20-something. And someone's like, you're not employed. So they're like, so what do you do all day? Like, how's living with your mom again? And you're like 30 and you're like, fine.
And you're like, how do you pay for stuff? But I am genuinely curious how people who don't have jobs pay for stuff. But I'm not about to ask them.
No, yeah. Probably their parents.
Yeah.
And like, they're probably trying hard to find a job. The job market is awful. So,
yep.
Oh, it took me a long time to find a job out here when I was initially
Thank
interested.
God you were employed in Texas and, you know, you could take your time, but it did take a long time.
Yeah, and I didn't, like, it wasn't like a hardcore pursuit because I still had a lot of time left, but like toward the last few months I was like, okay, I need to like apply hard, but it was hard. So another one was after college. What are you doing after graduation?
Yep. And people also talking about majors, like, you know, your major, my major was accounting. I mean, that one's really like, you know, you're fine. You're going to get a job after college. And your major too. But
no, journalism is awful.
It is?
Oh, yeah. Like, no one gets a real job in journalism. Like, it's hard.
So then people criticize people's majors.
Yeah,
like,
I started applying in February.
Like arts, like, what is that? Art history or something?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like just majors that they obviously followed their heart and they obviously followed something that they had a genuine interest in. But then the fact that, you know, finding those jobs is going to be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, why did you major in...
Oh, why did you major in
art history?
Philosophy. What
are you going to do with this?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, crap, I don't know what I'm going to do with this.
I don't know. And Barbara, good. Unsolicited advice. So, like, it's not a question, but just advice thrown your way that you didn't ask for.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you tell them about about your life, and they're like, well, if I were in your shoes, I would do this, 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 and this.
Yeah. That's true.
The holidays.
So I thought it would be fun. I found a couple of articles about commonly asked questions, and we've already gone over some of them, but I will go over the ones that we haven't, and then I thought we would answer if we've gotten asked this before or not.
Okay.
So
are you going to just go through them and then we do it, or do it while it's happening?
Do it while it's happening.
Okay.
So the two articles, How to Answer Rude Holiday Questions by Gina Baraka and Answers to Annoying Questions Families Ask Over the Holidays by Troy Lambert. So Gina's article starts, I don't care whether you're Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Shinto, or a practicing atheist. If you're female and you have relatives, you'll be making weepy baby seal eyes at somebody's casual question while I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus plays endlessly in the background.
It's awful.
I love that. I love that paragraph. It just sums up everything perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here are some common questions that you will most likely hear from one or more family members, and we'll say if we have gotten them or not. Are you still working at that same old job?
No, but people like ask me, because typically I've moved jobs every 2 years, so they're usually asking me how I like my job.
Yep. So mine, I would when I was in accounting, I would complain about accounting, and so people would ask me, "Oh, are you still in accounting?"
Oh yeah.
But now I can say no. if you're still single, still looking for Mr. Right?
Kind of. I've kind of gotten that.
I haven't gotten that one before too much. So my grandmother, you know, she is a kind person. She has a good heart, but she just says things like they are sometimes. So she is known to ask, how's that diet working out? You know?
Painful. No, I've never been asked that because I don't diet because I love food. But and I'm blessed that metabolism is still around in my 20s. But also it's just like I have heard that be said or something similar. Like my grandma is also a very nice lady, but she's also brutally honest. And so she'll be like, I remember growing up, she'll be like, that person's fat. And I'd be like, Grandma.
And were you and Chelsea just like sinking down in your chairs?
So bad. So bad.
So this one probably doesn't apply to me and you just because thankfully we were able to finish college in a relatively normal time frame. But for the people who've been in college a while, you know, those 5th year seniors out there, you may get asked, so are you still in school? You still working on that?
So it's just kind of insulting because it's just like kind of a backhanded thing.
Yeah. This one I've gotten before. So, when you going to buy a house and move out of an apartment?
Oh, really? That's so rude. That's like asking someone straight up about their finances.
Yeah, I know.
And also, it's just like nowadays the housing market sucks, you guys, for millennials. So we didn't buy a house in 1970. Now it costs $1 million.
Us millennials are too concerned about buying other shit besides houses.
Well, yeah. And it's just like...
It's really not.
Even though it's money down the drain, it's just like Seattle is so insanely expensive.
It's just not a priority for me because I don't know. It's just not a priority for me. And I don't know where I want to live the long term.
Mm-hmm. Desmond's
family's in Vancouver. My family's in Austin. Like maybe we eventually want to move back, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
Anything political. Oh, girl, with the political climate the way it is.
That's awful. Yeah.
Try to keep that talk down to the minimum. My parents were here for Thanksgiving, and they're very kind, level-headed people with, you know, political views, not as leaning as mine are. But, yeah, one gun debate got a little heated.
That's exciting. I'm just being sarcastic.
Whenever it's your parents, though, I'm so close to my parents that it was okay. I just, you know, if you're not close to people, then it could become not okay.
Yeah, I just feel really uncomfortable in conflict.
Isn't that part of your astrology sign?
Oh, yeah. It kind of is. Like Libra's like the balancing.
Yep.
Oh, Megs, you know my sign so well.
Yeah, and I think you want everybody to be happy, and so you don't want anybody to be mad or upset, and so you really want to avoid those times.
Yeah, it really freaks me out.
Oh, this next one gets on my nerves. Why don't we see you more?
Oh, I hate that question.
And it's like, okay, why would I have to give all the effort? Why couldn't you give some effort? You know what I mean? It's like putting the pressure. Oh, it's Annie. Oh, she's running around like crazy.
It looks like someone told her she's going to go potty. Okay, let's let her out. Hold on. Okay. Pausing the podcast. Okay, so we let Annie out to the bathroom. She just got a bath, so she was excited to show us.
So the last question is pretty a low blow. You're still doing the writer/artist thing? Oh, that's cute. What do you do for money?
That's hard. Like, actually, since we started this podcast, I like really love it. And I like find it to be a second job of my heart. I don't know if you like kind of feel that way too. And I love it so much. And people are like, so when are you going to make money?
And you're like, it's only been 6 months, okay?
I'm trying to get it off the ground. It's trying to blossom into a beautiful podcast.
I wonder how long it took Georgia and Karen to, you know.
I don't think that long, but they were like picked up by someone right away that was like a professional thing, and they were well known in
They're well known in
LA.
Hollywood, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think
we don't have that.
I think Karen was a writer for Ellen.
Yeah, she was a lot of, she had a lot. Oh, did you hear that in this last week's podcast?
I love them so much.
I heard it in this last week's podcast too.
So good. And was Georgia something too in LA?
I think she is or was.
And her husband has a podcast.
But now it's like their full-time job.
Now it's their full-time job. Oh
Goals.
my God.
Goals. Maybe one day.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone listen and spread it to thousands of people. And then.
And then we won't have to work.
No, we would work on this.
Yeah.
We could go on tour.
But this wouldn't be work. It'd be fun.
We have so much fun.
Okay. This next one is just funny questions with funny answers that I really thought.
Yes.
I mean, I was laughing at them this morning. So, okay.
Who is this from?
E-News.
Okay.
Hollywood Survival Guide. How to answer all those awkward personal questions asked by relatives. The question. So, are you seeing anybody? Your answer. Yes. His name is Netflix, and it's getting real serious.
I've been seeing Netflix for about 3 years now, and we've never gotten into a fight. The only thing that I get annoyed about is his judgment when he keeps asking me, and am I done watching? And I'm like, did I say we're done here?
We're not done. Okay, this one we talked about earlier. The question. Whatever happened to insert X's name here? We really liked him. Your answer. Do you want their number? Are you into heavy bondage?
Oh, God. I would get killed at the answer.
The question. Your generation today is so entitled. Why can't you guys be more like our generation?
I hate that. And I don't know if that happens every year, but I feel like that, like, people really hate our generation.
They do. Your answer should be, because I don't want to leave the next generation in crazy debt like you guys did.
Burn.
And the last one, the question. Why do you spend so much time on the internet? It fries your brain. Your answer. I'll remember that the next time you ask me to find the start button for you on your laptop. That's a pretty good one.
It's funny.
Okay, so now you wanted to turn things around real quick for something that's really prominent in the news right now.
Yeah, it wasn't shocking for me, but Matt Lauer was one of the big guys who got taken down by the sexual assault allegations. And we've been talking about this for 2 to 3 podcasts now. But this is really prevalent in the news. It's good. It comes at a good time that the podcast is being started because it's like airing out in a big feminist movement right now. Or just women's movement. But I believe feminism is equality of the sexes. So yeah, feminist movement. And it's all about, airing out sexual assaults and allegations and harassment. And Matt Lauer was the host of the Today Show, one of the highest paid, or if he wasn't, he might have been the highest paid anchors.
If not, definitely one of the highest.
Definitely.
And he did all
television.
the Olympics.
Yep.
He was the Olympics guy. I mean, he's been around for like as long as I can remember.
He started in the early 90s, I think, on the Today Show at least. And so his stuff is pretty screwed up. Actually, in the industry, like the broadcasting industry is a pretty tiny one. And everyone knew that he was not nice. He was not a nice person. But I had never heard about sexual assault.
Yeah, everybody knew that he didn't get along with his co-anchors, and so then that's why they would have to leave. Like, remember there was one couple. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He
basically kicked her off.
He basically kicked her off, and everybody knew that, like you said, he probably wasn't the nicest and probably not the easiest person to work with, but this was the first time that sexual assault came into the picture.
And it might have been a well-known secret within their close range. But some of the things he was had done or he was doing was, one, he had a button installed on his door and he would press the button and it would lock and shut on its own.
I didn't hear that.
So he had a button underneath his desk that he could press and the door would shut and lock. So
Really?
he wouldn't have to get up and not cause a lot of, yeah. And one time he pressed the button and did that. And then one of the main women that came out, he had, and this is graphic. So before you continue, think about whether this is triggering for you, but he allegedly, and they didn't say it was rape explicitly in the article, but it sounds a lot like rape. So he had sex with a woman until she passed out. And then she had to be taken to the hospital or taken to a nurse or something.
My God.
Like seek medical attention. Yeah.
Recently? No, it doesn't matter. I don't know
It
why.
doesn't
I'm
matter.
just curious.
Yeah, I don't know. And then a lot of stuff apparently happened during the Olympics. His wife allegedly started going with him to the Olympics because she was suspicious of him. He sent a coworker a sex toy and then described what he wanted to do with it to her.
I read that one.
A lot of stuff and a lot of like gross comments. Yeah. A lot of those gross comments, or some of them, probably not the majority of them, some of them were already caught on camera. Like when you didn't think anyone was rolling.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Are they out now?
Some of them. But yeah, no, he seems pretty gross.
Dang it.
And he's exposed himself.
I'm just, I feel like well, he obviously for sure has a wife, like you mentioned. Do they have kids?
3. And a daughter. It's just so, I think it's on a new level of effed up when you have a daughter for some reason, you know, because like it could happen to her.
Yeah, it could happen to her, but think about it on the other way too. It's really effed up for the son as well
because they have
that's
to watch
his
that
role
behavior.
Model.
Yeah.
I mean, your mom and your dad are automatically role models for you.
There's a show on HBO and it has like Reese Witherspoon and it's a very triggering show. So if you're triggered by like
Big Little Lies,
have you seen it?
Yes.
And so like one of the main actors in the show was assaulting Nicole Kidman and they had a very abusive relationship and basically borderline rape, it seems like. And like then the son started beating up girls at school.
Mm-hmm. Because even though, I mean, kids sense it even at a young age. You know, they know what's going on.
They
They
like
hear
heard it. Yeah. So not good.
Well, thinking about all those women that came forward.
You were strong and brave and we support you.
As well as Matt Lauer's kids and wife.
Yeah, praying for them. Jeez.
Seriously.
Please.
And okay, I'm going to say this too. Matt Lauer needs to get the help. Help.
Yeah, everyone needs mental health.
Yeah,
has like done that. And I think men are starting to change their minds. They're starting to recognize it. They're starting to listen more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we talked about it in the catcalling podcast where men wouldn't believe us that we were catcalled when we would tell them the story. And now I feel like men aren't doubting things anymore, you know?
Right. Yep. Because a lot of people are coming forward. It's easy to doubt one person, but it's hard to doubt 30 people.
Okay. Well, anything good happening this week for you?
I think that what I have to look forward to on Tuesday, we're going up to Chelsea's and the Collectibles pop-up shop.
And we'll put it on our Insta story, but it'll be too late. This will be past the point for people to sign up and go.
We'll put it on the Insta story today. And then PodCon Saturday and Sunday.
I'm looking forward to that too. That's my good thing too. PodCon, we're advancing this podcast, and this podcast has brought a lot of joy for me at least. And
definitely.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Spread peace and joy.
Bye.